Alright, yeah. So I'm gonna make 16 ladders here. I got all the steel for it here. These are like half-built ladders right here. I got 3 of them here. I got 16 to make, so that's another 13 I gotta put together. These still need the mounts put on them. And then I gotta clean them up and get them painted and get them delivered. Yeah, so I got one right here. I'll show you how I'm making these things. I got my jig made out of wood. It's kind of a disposable jig. I'm just going to cut it in sections when I'm done with it and throw it in the fire pit because I don't care about it. I'm probably not going to get other ladders I got to build these dimensions, and I don't really want this thing sitting around. It made it cheap enough where, you know, if I have to put another jig together, ain't gonna be no big deal. So yeah, I got 16 of these ladders to make. I know there's a lot of people out there starting welding businesses and, you know, getting started in welding, so they might find this interesting. I'm welding everything with this Fronius Trans Steel 4200 today. I could weld it with anything. You know, I got this Lincoln 180 down here. I broke the knob off of it, but I could weld it with that if I really had to. I could stick weld it if I wanted to. I'm using a solid wire 070 or 7525 shielding gas 035 wire size. I might get bored and stick weld a couple of these things just to show you that you can stick weld it. If all you got is a stick welder, it ain't gonna be that productive. You know, you might lose some money on it, but it'll get your name out there. You know, get some products to some people, and you know, the money you get, you can throw back into a MIG welder, I guess, if you had to. You really want to MIG weld these things because there's a lot of them. You'd be really slow trying to stick weld them all, but I might stick weld a couple runs. Show you that you can. But these things are fairly simple to put together. It's 2.5 inch by 3/8 flat bar. I got 2 of them that I cut out to 120 or 105 inches long. And then the leftover, I bought these as a 20-foot piece. So I got 2 pieces plus a leftover. The leftover made 3 of these, which I have to bend. When they get bent, they're going to look like this. I only bent one of them so far, so I can't put these on today. But they will look like that. I'll probably film that part at another day. And then this is 3/4 inch round bar. I cut into 18-inch lengths. Each ladder gets 9 of these for the particular ladders I'm building today, and they're spaced out every 12 inches. So I have my jig set up. You might be wondering what the heck I'm doing with all this wood. I'll show you here in a second. Before we get into building this, I do want to say, if you're getting into, you know, your own welding business, there's a lot of scams going around where people want similar structures of multiple products, multiple quantities. They're all fairly simple structures. Sometimes they even send you these really vague blueprints. A lot of them are scams. You know, if you get a message that says, "Hello, my name is John Rice. I would like a box 2 foot by 3 foot so I can put a water tank on top of it," probably a scam. If you get a message that says, "Hello, my name is Mary Hopkins, and you know, I want this gate built. It will go on a truck." All you have to do is build it, and we'll send a truck your way to get it out of there. no installation necessary, it's a scam. You know, one way you can tell is if they are putting too much emphasis on stupid information, like my name is John Rice. It's probably a scam. You know, stuff like this is a legitimate customer. I was actually out to their site. I did 14 previous ladders for these people, plus a bunch of handrails and some stainless stuff. This is legitimate. If you're not sure, always do a site visit. And if they're very shy about you coming on site and doing a site visit, it's probably a scam. So, yeah. Be cautious, be weary. Now let's get into building this. Alright, so you guys have sat down here. I'm gonna grab my gloves, get some stuff out of the way here. I'm gonna throw these off to the side for now because I don't need them. This is not the most productive way to build these. If I had another part of the jig set up where I could just throw these on in the jig and get them hacked together, it'd be more productive than the way I'm doing them. I'm in a tight shop here. I just got to get these built, so I'm trying to get something done. If I was working for Terex or somebody and they told me to do something like this, I'd probably tell them to go screw off. That, you know, when you're starting your own business, sometimes you got to do things inefficiently at first, just to get things done. So, first things first, I'm going to take these things, the flat bars, throw them in here, get them clamped down. The way these things have been working, I've only been using one clamp. That clamp's actually right in the way. I'm going to move it. Alright, that one's clamped. Yeah, this one is clamped. The wood up there is to stop the flat bar. It's square up there, so it's only same. Everything's always the same in this jig. If you're off on one ladder, you're off on them all, or your stuff is just not lined up properly. So now that these are clamped, take the round bar, throw it in here like this, like so. Once you get all these in here, then you're able to start packing them together. All these wood pieces are so I don't have to measure. Everything is just kind of held in place. The reason why the wood is on this side of the rung is so I can slide the ladder back this way to pick it up. If I put the wood on the other side, with the ladder being forced that way as part of the jig, I wouldn't be able to slide the ladder. I'd have to just pick it straight up. Things would get jammed up. So if you make your jig, always keep that in mind. The last order I had for these, my jig was not very efficient, and I actually got so pissed off at it on the last one I cut it with a torch. So we're going to turn our gas on here, get our machine turned on. We're running 415 feet per, or inches, 415 inches a minute, at around 23.8 volts, but that changes on this machine. Because this jig is wood, I have to ground one of these bars before I can start welding. Alright, so now everything's tacked together. I'm going to unclamp it here and get grounded to the table again. Now I can go ahead and pull this thing up and out of here. Again, slide it back, take it straight up and out, and then I can set it on the table, and now we're good to start welding. Sometimes if you have this spray here, anti-spatter stuff, sometimes this works. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. If I don't use it with this ladder, it's not a huge deal. I take the splatter off anyway with this because I'm trying to look more professional with this company that I'm working for. But this is going into a pit filled with chicken poop, so if it has some spatter on it, it's probably not a big deal. Nobody really cares. So yeah, then you can get your welder. I've been welding all the way out on the bottom here, flipping it over, and then welding the other side. So yeah, I'll get started here with you guys over here. See all that smoke coming off of it? On the other ones I've been building, I've been wearing my popper system, but I'm not wearing that on this one, so I can talk to the camera. But you do want to keep in mind there's a lot of fumes welding in small spaces like this. And just like that, everything's all welded out here. That's what the welds look like. They don't have to be the best welds, they just have to hold a human. These are not super big ladders, so really the chance of somebody getting hurt if one of these breaks is very slim. If this was a ladder going up the side of, you know, a water tower, probably want to make sure these welds are a lot better. But these are getting used probably at the end of the day when somebody has to go kill all the chickens that made it into the poop pits. Not a big deal if one of these breaks. They probably won't, but you know. So now I can flip it over, weld the back side, or weld the other side. I'm going to spin it around here, just to make it easier. Okay. Just because that tack weld is on this side, I have this open to be able to weld. Alright, so normally I would just MIG weld all these, but I'm going to get the stick welder out here. Just to show you guys at home that this stuff can be stick welded. So we got some 332, 7018 right here. Changing these furnace machines is very simple. You just take your stinger, unplug your wire feed, plug in your stinger, and hit this button one time. Now you're good to go. Get your amps set. It's as simple as that. Now we're going to start stick welding here. Alright, so that only took one electrode to do three rungs there. But now this one is all welded out, except for them little mounts that I got to put on there. As you can see, the stick welder was way slower, and then you still got all this slag. So again, now this is ready to go in the pile over there. But let's talk about, welder choices or process choices. If you have the option of both, MIG welding is quicker and it's also cheaper. When stick welding has its place, but production stuff like this, MIG welding is the way to go. So if you're running your own business, learn how to MIG weld and learn how to do it correctly. If you're running this too slow of a wire feed speed, then it's just, these rungs are just going to break off. So you gotta get enough heat in there to let it penetrate the steel, especially on thicker stuff like this. With stick welding, you could definitely build this with a stick welder, but it's going to be slow and costly. If I was just building one of these and all I had was a stick welder, I would definitely build it with a stick welder. But if you're trying to build multiples of them, just get yourself a MIG welder, if you have that option. If all you have is a stick welder, then you can make it work, but definitely try to get yourself a MIG welder. So I'm going to set this off to the side, build some more of these, and then when it's warmer out and I get them mounts bent up, I'm going to put the mounts on and clean them up, clean all the spatter off of these, and get them painted. Once these get on the truck, I deliver them to the customer. Then they're the customer's responsibility to install them on this particular job. So it makes my life a little bit easier because I don't want to have to climb over chicken poop to install them. So yeah, let's get some more of these built. I thought this might be pretty interesting to include in the video. This bucket right here. This is all them mounts ready to go. They're already cut and drilled. There's a lot of steel in there, Last time I just put them all in a 5-gallon bucket. It was pretty, destroyed the bucket last time. And then out here, show you the truck. This is why I run the stock bed on my truck. Or if I were to put a bed on here, it'd be a utility body, not a flat bed or a pipeliner bed. This barrel here, we got all of these pieces. Keep in mind that I already took out 5 ladders worth of these pieces, so that's a lot of steel. And I was hauling the flat bars in the bed, kind of like so. I got 2 more sets in here. So that's why I run a normal bed and a trailer. Sometimes I use this trailer. I have another trailer too that I used to haul all the steel. But with the amount of weight that we're talking about, if you have this all on a ladder rack, at one go. That'd be pretty hefty. All right, so we're back. We're still building these ladders. It's been a few weeks since the actual ladder build, but I got my little mounts back. It took a lot longer than I was hoping for, but got them bent. As you can see, there's a hole on both sides now. I'll bring this in a little bit closer. So you can see there's a hole there and there's a hole there. That's because whoever bent these misheard me, and I had this hole drilled first, and they bent them where there was no hole on this side. So we had to fix that, and now there's new holes. They're not perfectly centered, but I think they're going to do what we need them to do. You know, you can either get mad about the situation, or you can just fix it and move on with your life. And that's what we did. We fixed it and moved on. So each ladder gets four of these things. I already pre-measured where they need to go and marked it. I don't have specs for these on the last ones I did. I'm doing 25 centimeters to the center as a metric measurement for those of you that measure in bald eagle dicks. So yeah, 25 centimeters to center. The way I get these things lined up so that they are the right, like this way, is I built these scrap metal spacers. So it's not the most productive setup in the world, but you take your ladder off your table, throw it on these spacers, and move your ground clamp over to the ladder. Untangle all your cords. So now we're grounded. I only have 2 clamps, so I'm going to clamp these ones here. I forget what I was doing before, but they were really spaced out. That one's clamped on there. Alright, now that one's clamped on there. So what I'm going to do is I'll move this camera around so you guys can see it a little bit better. Alright, so that's how we got them set up. I'm just going to go ahead and tack them on there. We're running dual shield 045. We're at like 340 inches a minute. I think 25.9 volts roughly. I'm not the best at dual shield, but like I said, they don't have to be perfect. Alright, so those are tacked on there. Now we're going to unclamp them. I need the clamps for the other ones. you guys turn around there. We're gonna clamp on these other two. Those are tacked on there, so now we're going to unclamp it, move it back up to the table. You don't have to put it on the table, but it just makes it a lot easier. Get them off there. I'm going to move you guys around. Alright, I got the two sides on each welded. You could just leave it like that, but I like to weld this third side here on the front side and then leave the back side open so moisture can escape and whatnot. So that's that side that's welded up. Before I flip it over to weld the other side, I like to get all the little BBs off of here, clean it up. That way I don't have to waste time flipping it back over. And then I kind of grind the corners off. So I'll show you how I get the BBs off. If you use that anti-spatter stuff, it's not too bad. I believe this one I did not use it, so it might be a bit rough. But I use an air hammer here with the little flat chisel. Alright, so now this one's all cleaned up, ready to paint. I'm going to weld up two more of them off camera, and then we're going to throw these things out in our super advanced high-tech paint booth, and we're going to try to paint them tonight, I think, because it's kind of nice out. I mean, we've been getting a lot of crappy weather here. Yeah, these are all welded out. They're not perfect, but I think they're suitable for what they're going to be used for. And I don't know, I might be trying to run a lot more dual shield. I'll give you a close up here of the welds. It runs really nice once you get it set. This is the dual shield welds. I was getting a lot of worm tracking at first, but now it's a lot better. It took me about an hour to dial that stuff in and get all the rusty wire off the spool. Yeah, these are the solid wire MIG welds. I did get a little bit of a hole there. Not a big deal. Like I said, the most weight somebody's going to be putting on this is maybe 300-400 pounds. But more than likely, probably only about 150 pounds. That's another one of the MIG welds. And then there's another MIG weld. And then there's our flux core weld. So let me know what you guys think. you know, I'm open to criticism. Solid wire or dual shield flux core. I don't know, I'm leaning more towards the flux core. I definitely need practice at it though. That's why I chose this project to start practicing on it. It's a lot harder than anything I've been used to. It's not super hard, it's just I'm not used to it, so I don't know. It was very hard to get the settings dialed in though, I will say that. So even on the Fronius, as fancy as it is. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. We'll run out here, get these other two welded, and try to get these things painted tonight. For those of you that don't know what worm tracking is, I found a little bit of it right here at the start of this weld. Try to get that to focus there. That's either a worm track or I hit it with the chip-in hammer. I think it's a worm track though. Get that thing to focus some more. Yeah, I think that's a worm track. Like I said, this isn't a super critical project, so I'm just going to leave it on there, paint over it, nobody will really care. But if that was like an excavator boom or something, you know, you'd want to get that out of there. So I don't know. Definitely need some practice. We'll see how it goes though. Alright, so I don't know if you guys can hear me. That air compressor's kind of loud. We got our paint set up here. That's what we're going to be using to spray. This is our paint bucket. I used this on the handrails I made for this company before. The last time I made the handrails, I was using like a galvanizing spray and it was kind of crap. So I'm going to try this. I really don't know what I'm doing. This is a Sherwin-Williams. Okay, I guess it would help if I showed this side. It's a Sherwin-Williams industrial enamel. I don't know if you're supposed to be able to spray it or not. We're going to give it a shot. It's color code 4031 for those of you that are interested. So we're going to go out here to this super high-tech paint booth. Like, this is so high-tech. Like, I didn't want to show it, you know. It's kind of like an industry secret or a company secret. Like Chip Boost would be freaking jealous of this stuff. So let's go out here, get this thing painted up. So I'm going to set this down for a second, get you guys set up here. It's kind of windy, I apologize. Yeah, this is our super high-tech, super secret paint booth, which is no longer a secret anymore. I'm trying to figure out which way the wind blows, so hopefully I can not get paint on the camera. Get away from the wind to blow. Here we go. It's blowing right into the camera, so we're going to move you guys. Whoops. Yeah, we'll put you guys right here. Out of harm's way. That way you don't get paint in your mouths, you know. I don't know if I need to put a paint thinner in this stuff or not, but I'm not very experienced doing this, if you cannot tell. We're gonna give it a shot. You know, get our super advanced high-tech dust mask on here. Let's give her a whirl here. not really working. I'm gonna try finding some paint thinner, mixing that up in here. I'll be back. Alright, I couldn't find any paint thinner, but I found some acetone. I don't know how much you're supposed to do mix this stuff with, but I think I found something that works, so let's give it a shot here. Still not perfect, I guess. Again, no clue what I'm doing. It doesn't seem to stick very well to the MIG welding smoke. Who would have known? I feel like I'm definitely doing something wrong here, but it seems to be working good enough that I can get through this little bit. Alright, well that was definitely a struggle. Again, absolutely no clue what I'm doing out here. Not a clue at all. But we got paint on there. I think I'm good to freehand. I can freehand murals on your car if you want me to do them. I think I'm ready for that. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Look at how smooth that is. Oh yeah. Smooth as can be. Probably missed a spot. Yeah, I think I missed a spot right there. Whoops, right there. Ah well, I'll get it when I flip her over. Look at how smooth it is. Hold on. Wait for that thing to focus. Focus, camera. Focus. Oh yeah. It's so buttery smooth. Oh yeah. No, I don't know, man. This is a struggle. I don't know how you guys like painting. I hate it. I hate it so much. It's either I use this crappy air gun with no experience how to run it, or I break out the paint rollers and struggle very hard to roll this stuff on there. It wouldn't be bad if it was all flat, but with all these round bars on there, I don't know. I rolled it on when I was doing the handrails, but I don't know. We'll struggle through this. Probably get through these three, and then I don't know. I got 13 more of these to paint and put the little mounts on, so I don't know. We'll see how this goes. Maybe somebody can teach me how to paint, because I don't like it. Okay, so that's it. Got 3 of them painted. That was definitely a struggle fest. Again, I have zero clue what I'm doing when it comes to paint, but we got paint on there, so that's all that matters, I guess. If any of you guys have suggestions on how to paint things, let me know. I used that same exact paint gun when I used to work for Assa Abloy, making the steel door frames. Painting things a similar color, I guess. And I don't think it was anywhere near as hard as when I paint things myself. So I don't know. I feel like my setup is wrong. You know, probably everything's wrong, but I don't know. I mean, there's paint on there, I guess. So let me know what I can do differently. We got our ladders made. We're gonna throw them on the truck when they dry, take them to the customer, and they're the customer's problem then.